Note this conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. Quick sound check. Can everyone hear me loud and clear? All right, so today is Friday. Happy Friday, September 14th, almost halfway through the month already. Things are flying by, and especially because we've been getting some really good volume, some really good moves over basically as soon as we finished up with Labor Day. All right, so AMD, first thing that I'm looking at this morning, it's just like clockwork, this thing. We pulled all the way back to that 30 level where that's exactly where we thought that this thing had to pull back to. At a minimum. And the one thing that we do know is that we have a ton of buying above. We have a ton of buying at 31, 32, 33, 34. So we're on our way back up. Now, it doesn't mean that we're completely done yet, but the one thing that I do like to see is we have been getting some really good volume in it on its pushes towards that upside. So I really do like what I see there. It's just a matter of I haven't really seen a great show of hand in it yet. As we've been pushing up, there's been some good, decent prints, some good bursts that have came out, but just not really that definitive. Okay, we're going back up. So 33,000 shares sitting there at 31.20. We're going to have to watch this closely. If it holds this, then we should really be able to get on our way. Just keep in mind, it is Friday. Typically, Friday afternoons are a bit slow, so most of what we're going to see is going to be coming into the morning, coming from, basically to that 11 o'clock, maybe noon time. Certainly going to have a lot of volume today. Already 4.7 million shares, already a pretty big move considering that on average it usually trades $1. Although one thing that we do have to keep in mind is that this average of $1 is a little bit skewed because of the fact that it's taking into account 20 days in the past. So it's coming, if we come back over here around that 20 area, we weren't really getting big moves. Ever since we've got above that 25, you can see the days the bars have just been getting bigger and bigger, which is a great thing because we're getting a bigger range in it. But certainly should see another big move coming into AMD today because it is just a very hot stock. There's a lot of people that are paying attention to this right now, and there is a ton of buying in it. Next one looking at is NIO. So NIO this morning, we had some good prints that came in underneath that 13 level, and it made a nice little push for about 25 cents, not as much as I would have expected. But one thing that we do have is we just got a lot of prints came in on 13 on the bid side and then 12.50 on the bid side. So unfortunately, because it's such a new stock, you can't short it yet. So we're going to have to wait to see something that's going to show us back towards the upside. One thing is that it's been just on a beautiful push. I mean, we could see even yesterday in the coming in to the aftermarket, it jumped up, but it jumped up on really no volume. I mean, the volume was pretty low in there. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I would have definitely liked to see it a little bit higher than that as it pushed. And we could see on lower volume when it pushes like that, a lot of times we end up coming right back down. Doesn't mean that it's going to be done. It just means that we're going to need to see some more buying controlling prints coming in. As of right now, it's showing a short. So we have to wait until it kind of finds that bottom, and then we see something that tells us that it's going to be coming back up. Next one is TLRY. So it took a pretty big hit, closed at 120 yesterday, all the way down to 100. This thing just moves in ridiculously drastic amounts, coming down $20 overnight. And looking right now at this, at the 105 to 100 level, we did get some decent prints coming up. So look at the orders. They're non-existent. There's almost nothing out there. So if we look at 1,000 shares, 15 to 100 shares, 1,100 shares, that's actually a lot. I'm considering the fact that there's just not much going on. Now, the volume overall is great, 750,000 shares. We did get some prints coming in at that 105 level on the bid, so it's a little bit of a mix here. I haven't seen anything too great yet, but we know this thing is going to move. So really just want to see those controlling prints. That tells us exactly what it's going to be looking to do, and we'll certainly be getting a trade from there. And then CRON. So the pot stocks took a little bit of a hit overnight, but if we look over at the actual volume, it just wasn't really anything. I mean, look at this, the movement towards the downside that came in from this morning. It just, there wasn't anything there that really, that showed that anyone was adamant about it coming back down. It was really kind of hollow movement. So at that 950 point, we didn't really get anything special. You can see right here, we had one print above the ask. I was really looking to see if we were going to get, a show of hand. It's Friday morning. So Friday mornings are usually a bit slow. So we're going to need a show of hand to show us where we're going. We did have a few prints at that 9 level on the bid side, though, a lot earlier, but it wasn't anything really, to justify that this thing has to go down a whole bunch. So we need those controlling prints to come in before we're going to really have an idea of where we're going to be looking to take this thing. And other than that, CGC was another one I was looking at this morning. It's a little bit all over the place. I am going to put it on our list, but we need some type of change. We need something to come in here to give us a better idea of what it's looking to do, because it's all over the place. The volume has been very, very low, 510 overall, but you could see, I mean, other than this, kind of bigger volume spike right here that brought us up to about 35,000, everything else has just been kind of nonsense. But we know it's going to move. We're definitely going to get, more of a move than we would normally expect. But it's just a matter of, like I said, we're going to need to see a little bit more. We have a few prints, a couple of prints, 42 right here, at that 42 level. And so it's going to pull up, and then it has a little bit of room to the downside. But then we also had a couple prints on the ask side, just a very mixed level. So we're just not really anything there once again yet to show us this is definitively going to happen. SQ got a price target price target upgrade this morning. Well, I don't really, I agree with it, because based off of the fact that, we know that this thing needs to go up around that 100 area. Not doing too much though, only 45,000 shares. Certainly something that we're going to be able to trade, just not really anything to focus on yet. Based off of everything that we've seen, just not a lot out there that's really definitive, that's giving us, this has to happen. Moving over to the gainers side of things, you can see volume is just very low. Shield, SHLD, see, there's nothing there for us, nothing that's going on whatsoever. And then that's really it. Play 173,000 shares. Is it going to move? Yeah, probably, but another one where it's just, I don't really see much. We had a little bit of buying that came in at that 60 level. 58.50 is showing us that it's going to, had to pull back a little bit more, a continuation on that pullback before we'd end up going above that 60, but just not really enough there that really gets me excited to where it's going. It's definitely going to be a bigger mover, so we are going to keep it on our list. But once again, just like everything else out there, we need a better show of hand on almost everything that we have to give us that, the high probability trade that we're looking for. Oh man, it's too bad we can't short the NIO, because this thing, it showed a short and it's just kind of tanking back down. So that's one that we'll definitely, be watching. But it's, unfortunately, if we don't find that bottom and show that it's time to move back up, there's not really anything that we're going to be able to do with it. Did I miss Facebook? No, I haven't talked about Facebook. So Facebook. All right, we still know where this thing needs to go, and if you look at what it jumped up on, it's absolutely nothing. Look at the prints that we have in here. Look at the volume bars that we have. So the whole movement towards this upside, towards that 163, just didn't mean anything whatsoever. We had a few prints coming at 162.50. We know that's a very big level. There's a lot of selling that's sitting at that 162.50, but it just hasn't shown anything this morning. We still have to go on our overall story with this thing, rather than seeing anything that's coming in. 160 is still our price target. Will AMD pull back? Well, AMD in my eyes has pulled back where it needed to, at that 30 level. Now, it hasn't shown us that. Like I said this morning, we haven't got a great show of hand in anything out there yet. So when the market opens, it's going to give us a better idea of what we're going to expect. But 30 was the number. As I put in the chat yesterday, 30, it had to pull back to 30. That was my number. So it hit 30. We did get some selling into 30. All right, but jumping back up, remember, 30 is a big psychological number, going to be hard for it to be able to break that. They're definitely going to want to try to hold it up, especially with the amount of buying that we have above. So just need a better show of hand. Anything in Roku? Let's see. Nope, absolutely not. It's traded 7,000 shares this morning. So there's just, you're going into the close yesterday, nothing special whatsoever either. You had, there's a little bit of buying that came in at 70.50, but nothing there that shows us anything. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? PayPal, PYPL. So PayPal, it still needs to make the money. At 93.50, from the amount of prints that we saw coming in at 93, that was not enough. So I'm still expecting more of a move towards that 95 level in PayPal. All right. So let's get ready for the morning. The biggest thing, for us to do this morning is just find a good show of hand, because we just have not gotten one yet, and that's the key to what we're going to be trading as the market opens. All right, guys. So I'll talk to everyone. Remember, it's Friday, no afternoon meeting, and I will talk to everyone in the chat room. Happy trading.